Topping today's news, senators debate the new electricity amendment bills. A mother claims her son was raped at a political event last year. 2 senior officers charged with robbing a local businessman, and traffic fatalities ahead of the 2023 pace. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. When the Senate met Thursday to debate the Electricity Bill 2024, which was passed last week in the House of Assembly, Attorney General Ryan Pinder says due to poor governance by the past administration, the electricity bill, first passed in 2015, was not able to fulfill its objectives. As he supported the bill's amendments, he says the country is in dire need of electricity in a sustainable manner.
The management company framework nor the rate reduction bond ever materialized for BPL. And in our opinion, setting it back considerably in its progress towards modernization. As a result, there are specific obligations found in the Electricity Act and the Electricity Rate Reduction Bond Act that were not complied with. So in other words, because of their failure to implement the law, BPL found itself and the government in contravention of the law that was passed in 2015. Given the evolution of the state of affairs of energy generation, transmission, distribution, and supply, there is a need to update the Electricity Act in its entirety.
The bill comes as many residents have complained about the high cost and unreliable electricity throughout the country, especially during the summer months. The Attorney General says his office has consulted extensively with the Ministry of Energy, ERCA, and BPL regarding the proposed amendments.
Amendments contained in the bill include the removal of references to the obligation to have a system operator, which is the management company, and the removal of specific references to a rate reduction bond, because clearly that has not happened and is not going to happen. It also permits a licensee to engage a system operator of their choice, so a management company, for the management and operation of any or all of the generation, transmission, distribution, or supply of energy.
Attorney General Pinder also told reporters that 60% of BPL's energy plant here in New Providence and 80% of its plants on the Family Islands must be replaced within the next 5 years. Earlier this week, while leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Bain, was conducting
There is a video going around with someone complaining to the chief of the COI about an alleged sexual assault and connecting it to the Progressive Young Liberals. This video has been sent to the Commissioner of Police for redress. Given that there are certain judicial and investigative processes going on, we advised not to comment. And all I say at this point is people ought to be careful in all circumstances to avoid commenting on live cases and spreading mischief.
The mother of the boy who was allegedly sexually assaulted says the culprit is being protected because of his political connections. In March, the corruption unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force revealed they were investigating the claim that 2 police officers attempted to rob a businessman of $90,000. While on Wednesday, the 2 officers including Assistant Superintendent of Police Omar Mackey and Inspector Benjamin Moss, appeared in the magistrate's court and were formally charged with 1 count of attempted stealing. Both officers have been banned from the police force. The victim alleged the 2 officers stole the $90,000 during a traffic stop on March 24th this year. The two officers pled not guilty and were granted $5,000 bail each. They will return to court on August 7th for a trial. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Clayton Fernanda reassured the public that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will uphold the law and prosecute all who break the law, including their very own officers. As the Ministry of Works Unregulated Community Task Force continues demolition exercises in Eleuthera, the Department of Social Services says they are making an effort to help those displaced, especially on the Family Islands. Assistant Director of Social Services, Cheryl Lee Kelly, confirmed Social Services is offering housing assistance to people recently evicted from the Blackwood Shanty town on Eleuthera.
We are trying to maintain a very healthy and a wholesome environment for the clients, we call them clients, and in the communities, yes. And so we have social workers stationed on the Family Islands in Eleuthera, in Abaco, and we have social workers, of course, in Nassau. So if anybody is in need of help, then they can refer to the offices in these various communities.
The department is offering its promised services, including motel and shared housing. However, Kelly says few people have been taking advantage of the assistance.
Most of those persons appear to seem to be financially pretty stable. A few of them would claim that they don't have any monies, but we have found that a number of those persons would have found some place to move into. We would have offered a temporary shelter to some families in Nassau and would have secured places for them to live, and they never came. So that means that they would have found some place, or they would have had resources to be able to pay to move into a place on their own.
Late March, the Ministry of Works issued over 200 eviction notices on Eleuthera alone after assessments on Blackwood and Spanish Wells, as well as Russell Island. Ms. Kelly is advising those who live in shanty towns to not wait until demolition exercises are underway before you seek assistance. And finally, in this segment, on Thursday, the Ministry of Labor and Public Works launched the Oracle Fusion Project, which is a human resources management system that will change systemic and inefficient operations in the public sector. Minister of Labor and Public Works, Pia Glover-Roll, says the goal is to integrate improved human resources into the public service so employees in the sector can work more efficiently.
Like I said, just last week, I resolved a matter that was lagging for nearly 20 years. So imagine the pain and frustration that individual has felt for all these years. And like I have said on many occasions, the beauty is about the best employees in the country, public servants, is you still show up and you still show out and you still do the work. So while we can't give that employee back the time that they spend waiting, we can resolve the situation like we've done, but it's important to ensure that it never happens again. We've made our primary objective to take on the major issues directly and ensure that public servants can finally see progress, feel progress on many issues that have been stagnant for years.
Parliamentary
The Cloud Bahamas project is not just about adopting a new software. It's about fundamentally reimagining how our public service operates. It's about streamlining processes, eliminating bureaucratic bottlenecks, and empowering our dedicated public servants to focus their talents and energies where they matter most, in delivering tangible outcomes for the Bahamian people.
The new human resources system is up and running and will soon be the only way to register for jobs in the public sector. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.